According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, 15% of males over 18 drink in a way that is dangerous to their health. England's Cambridge University recently released a video campaign labelled "Don't Drink Like a Brit", which warns international students off of adopting the binge drinking culture. Australia is known for its party antics and binge drinking ways, and according to the International Centre for Alcohol Policies, is currently among the world leaders in harmful drinking prevention. James Townsend is in the editing process of his short film Binge, and thinks that international students could easily get caught up in Australia's fast-paced drinking culture.
Yeah. I do think that we tend to glorify drinking quite a bit, and this idea that, we'll talk about our mate who got so smashed the other weekend that, and isn't he a champion for drinking so much, and I think that that's probably an issue that, is further reaching within our society, but also it affects the international students that come over. So I think that, I do think that we need to make foreign students understand this is not an admirable trait. Having a pavement pizza at 3 a.m. on a Sunday is not an admirable trait. So we need to stop talking blokes up as if they're champions for doing it.
Martin White is an international student from England. Since living in Australia, he has worked as a bartender and is now an alcohol brand ambassador. Martin knows all too well how easy one can be swept up in the Australian drinking.
Initially, it kind of takes you by surprise. Before you know it, you're actually going out 2, 3, 4 times a week, and it happens without you even realising you're drinking. Like I say, 3, 4 times a week, and it's just, and they're not even small sessions; they're very large sessions, drinking till 2, 3 a.m. partying quite hard. It takes a conscious effort to pull yourself down. I think that's definitely an issue that happens here. I think because of the culture, you do get caught up in it so much that it becomes a social aspect, so you don't think twice about it. So it does make a conscious effort. I made the conscious effort because I don't want to drink that much anymore. So I just pulled myself to a stop. Otherwise, where does it stop? If you don't stop now, then when are you going to?
Elba Santin is a 20-year-old student from Barcelona studying at UTS. She says that whilst people drink a lot in Australia, it is no different back home, and she has no trouble at all fitting in.
No, I don't think I've drunk more because I used to drink quite a lot in Spain. So here, more or less, I drink more or less the same. Yeah, in Spain, there's a big drinking culture. We drink different things, but more or less, the amount of alcohol we drink is pretty much the same.
Farah Geddes is a 24-year-old science student from France and can't believe how much Australians drink compared to back home.
About the whole macho culture in Australia when it comes to drinking, I do think guys have this thing where they want to try to drink as much as possible and they can show off about it. But I don't think that it's the same for girls. But I think that when you go out with guys, you end up drinking with them, so you're going to drink more because you're going to try to drink the same amount. Yeah, well, back home, we definitely have that culture where we drink with food. So you'll have that nice wine with food and it's nice and you're chatting and whatever. And that's what the older generation would do, and that's what you do as well. But when you're young, you do sort of go out, and have a few drinks just to get tipsy kind of thing. So it's not like we don't do it as well. It's not that much of a shock. It's just that the amount of alcohol that Australians drink compared to the amount of alcohol we drink is just huge. It's insane. It's so much more.
Dr. Julie Robert is an expert on international students and has done research into drinking cultures and thinks that international students cope differently depending on where they are from.
Well, I think it really depends where they're from. If you're an international student coming from, say, a Muslim country where drinking is not the norm at all, then absolutely it's going to be a shock because a lot of your welcome activities, a lot of the icebreakers are going to be taking place in a bar or a pub, which would be a foreign environment, but B, somewhat exclusionary if you're not of a culture where you feel comfortable in that environment. And the whole purpose of welcome activities is often to lower inhibitions and to get people talking to one another. If, however, you're coming from, say, an American college campus or an American background, the most normal thing in the world is to have a college drinking culture. In fact, binge drinking, as we know the term, was actually coined in reference to American college students.
It seems that depending on the country of origin, different students cope in different ways. But there is just no denying that Australian culture definitely has a macho hero aura that surrounds its consumption of alcohol. Daniel McBride reporting for International Student Hub.